Yep, you guessed it, another talking head ad where somebody's talking about people making hundreds or even thousands per month using nothing but their computer.
Let me guess, it's from Alrighty. So, uh, give me 1 second.
Okay, let me change this one last time.
Alright, we are live and we are rolling. Okay. So, welcome everybody to uh welcome everybody to group 2 session 15. Jesus. I still can't believe how long this campaign's been going. Give me 1 second because I don't think the notifications on. Um,
Why does it keep? Where did it go? Oh my goodness.
all right. All right. So this is session 15 of group 2. How is everybody doing tonight?
Doing all right.
Good.
There we go. Boom. Got the one that you had sent me.
Okay.
All right. Let me
So,
get everything
as you
set
guys
up.
can see, we have two newcomers to the group. We have Chris and Robin. Mind introducing yourselves and who you'll be playing in this moving forward?
So my name is Chris. I've been doing TPRGs for about 40 years, various genres and game systems. And I'm playing Ariel, who is an Air Genasi multi-class druid rogue.
Oh,
Okay. And then Robin?
Hi, my name's Robin. I will be playing Alana, who is a half-elf sorceress. Yeah. She is also noble-born and a little snobby, but we'll try and keep that under control.
All right.
interesting.
That sounds good. Okay. Um, so real quick, Lorenzo, are you still struggling with the image?
Oh no no no. I had got it. I got it up there already. Did it not swap?
It has not changed. Let me check
Okay.
it.
Let me reapply it.
So, this is not only the first session for Robin and Chris, but it is also the first session that Group 2 is live on Twitch. So, with that in mind, why don't for the for the uh
There we go.
for the one person watching stream currently, why don't you guys basically uh, in the best way and
Think.
also the quickest way, sum up both the previous session and the campaign so far in general.
Uh.
For those of you that would like to.
Okay. So I guess I'll start with the previous session. We basically ventured away from where were we? Muspelheim, I believe, still.
Mm-hmm.
So we left Muspelheim finally after being locked in a house for about a day, about half a day. Fought a werewolf, made friends with a thieving rat, and bailed him out of jail. And Were Rat, and now we're here in a city the name I forgot the name of, and we are looking for the guy who gave our good friend Angus. is his gun that apparently a lot of people have special eyes for. And so we're here just kind of waiting for him to pass through because he's like a traveling merchant guy. We heard that he passes through um, this area. So we came here and we met somebody by the name of Morningstar, I believe, who was the first human that we've met, I think, in our entire journey so far. And he told us that the guy does pass through here from time to time. Just wait for him, and he'll probably be passing through here soon. And we also saw a mysterious statue that was broken earlier as well. As far as the journey so far, we've all first arrived by various means to Kindori together. We all came from different backgrounds and different places, and we all just kind of met. I literally got plopped right in front of everybody through various means of travel. Um, but yeah, since then, we went to go meet with the council of one of the cities in Kindori. Name I also forgot the name of it. It leaves my brain for a second.
Kindori is the
Kindori
city.
is the city. Okay,
Yeah,
yeah.
Beitor
Beitor is
is
the
the
name of the
continent.
big continent. Okay, that's what I had thought. Okay, so yeah, and in Kindori, we went to go meet with the council, and during our meeting with the council, they were invaded by this really, really bad lady who also has a thing for Angus, I believe. And so we want to fight her, but she's really, really strong. So we were tasked with going and finding some people and rescuing them from various places and getting together like a force that we could use to try to go up against her. Um, and that has brought us to a journey to try to find the person who gave Angus his gun,
I was
so we
so
can
So
learn more
perplexed
about sword.
I was so perplexed at the woman who has it for
yeah,
Angus.
for
I was
for
like,
the
oh,
record,
I then realized, oh fuck, it's Zariel.
yeah, for the
I was
record, the
like,
woman who
what are
has
you
it out for
talking
me
about?
is a
Are you talking about fucking?
she's a
I
bit
thought
of a
you were talking
local
about the
warlord.
gunslinger.
Yeah, she's a bit of a local warlord, been going around doing some pillaging and burning, killed my town, tried killing uh Tequila's town, but it is just that Zariel. Um very friendly lady.
Yeah, very friendly indeed.
Oh,
So
I thought
yeah,
she
that.
just did all that because she thought Angus was cute.
Oh, come
Not gonna lie.
No, that's why we got the Rat Man out of jail.
I
Oh my god.
can't believe we wasted so much gold on that.
You wasted so much gold. It was
It's
that was
not a
supposed to be a
waste.
comedic
He's our
entity, but
friend. He's our boy.
He is our boy. He's our boy.
I actually do now have a visual for this man. I don't know if he is
Ah.
visible to you on your in your journals. Ralph the Knife Broker. He should be in the Muspelheim folder in your journals.
Oh, Ralphie.
Uh, there's that. This is the man you let out of prison.
I was also a hair's breadth away from being absolutely eviscerated by an octane wizard, trying to steal this guy some alcohol because he lost all his
Oh.
money gambling.
All right. So yeah, that's pretty much a little chaotic way of describing it, but yeah. So basically, while all the other groups are stretched out across the many different regions of the continent of Zov, we find this group in the hellish continents of Beitor, uh, a realm that has been the nine hells personified in the form of a body of land in the middle of the ocean. Here we find all these intrepid heroes that have met together in the city of Kindori, helmed by the Great Anid, the Egyptian pantheon, uh, and have discovered all these different events going on. The Scourge, where Zariel has begun terrorizing all of these villages and kingdoms within Beitor for seemingly no reason. the Aeneid have begun to go to war with the Hellen Empire, and also with affiliations with Muspelheim, thanks to Jake's character Drew, who is unfortunately not going to be able to make it tonight because I believe they're just asleep. But at this point, uh, the our intrepid heroes find themselves in a sort of desert western town by the name of Moleville, in search of a man known as Mahadi, who is hopefully able to give them some much needed answers to some very old questions.
Did we really canonically make the name of this place Moleville? Is it
I made it
actually
I
Mole? Is
canonically
it
made it Moleville.
actually Moleville now?
It is
It's
actually
on
named
the
Okay.
map.
Moleville.
I thought that was just like because I said it wrong, like when I told the guy where
No,
to
it
take
is
us.
named Moleville. You
Oh,
got it. That was one of the few things you got right in that
that's
character.
crazy. That's actually crazy. Okay.
All right. With that, we find ourselves in the early mornings as the sun rises in this enveloping this barren desert in an orange warm glow. We find ourselves in the desert town of Baitor, a sort of ghost town almost. Very few people, 20 maybe. Uh, barely of which you have actually seen in your only few hours of actually being in Baitor. On a large skyship, we find our we find our intrepid heroes, this group that have come together for all various different means. We find them joined together on an airship, just barely waking up. With that, as everybody begins to wake up in the morning, could I have everybody describe their characters for both the stream and also for the newcomers? Why don't we go left to right for how you're presented on stream? So with that, Tequila.
Hi, I'm Lizard. I play Tequila, and he is a slimy little artificer in a diving suit.
Great, awesome, that's amazing. Okay, all right, thank you for that. How, what is, how does waking up feel for them? Like, what's going, how do they proceed with their morning?
Uh, I mean, early morning's got to be wake up, do checks on the suit. After that, probably just dropping food directly through the faceplate to absorb it, which is always just beautiful and strange. And that's kind of the morning routine.
Okay. With that, um, off to the side a bit more, in one of the other rooms of this airship, we find Barnaby Churchill, otherwise known as Church.
Hi everyone. I'm Zoe. Play Church. Church is a middle-aged half elf who appears the same way that his token appears, basically. He's about 6'3" in height, so he's pretty tall. He's a pretty tall guy. And he's basically got just wanderer nothingness on, just some scraps that he finds to keep himself uh, warm in the cold, basically. And he's just been traveling the world, seeing sights and making new friends along the way. And he wakes up, and he also currently has a very large black tattoo across his arm, across one of his arms, that will be of note eventually. But which he uses to summon his familiar Champ. And so as Church wakes up, like every morning, he feeds Champ his little apple slices. And he calls Champ down, or calls Champ over to wake up with him, and Champ wakes up, gives him his little apple slices, and then I stretch and prep myself to start my day like always.
All right. And just so that everybody's aware, what does Champ look like?
Champ is a grotesque undead owl that you can kind of see through almost sometimes. If you look at him through the right angle, you kind of like see through his bones and stuff. But he basically was summoned with the dark energy that comes from this tattoo that I've got on me.
Not too many
But
spoilers. Not too many. Not too many
he's
spoilers.
okay.
Okay.
He's a sweet boy. Champ's a
He's a
sweet
sweet
boy,
boy.
and
We love him.
he helps us a lot. We love him.
All right. And with that, in another separate room, how does we find Angus Mackenzie?
Hi, I'm Aaron. I'm playing a character. His first name is actually Danny, but his friends call him Angus. Uh, he is a Minotaur warlock with a very heavy cowboy theme. Actually came about because I wanted to run a Western game for like a couple years and couldn't get any friends to actually sign on for that. Uh, but he would start his average morning, wake up, check on all of his weapons, particularly the six-shooter he uses as a spellcasting focus. Um, I say six. I believe we've actually established it has a chamber for every single spell he knows. Um,
It just gets bigger and bigger every single time.
yes, this is an
No, it just somehow manages to be able to inscribe all of the runes onto the drum, so it still looks like a 6-shooter.
um, get that all nice and polished, looking pretty. Get his hat on, step up. About a pretty big, beefy fellow. Tip his hat to Champ as he heads down a bit, and probably start his morning heading off to whatever the local restaurant was or something, trying to find himself a cup of coffee or something similar.
Okay. With that, I'd also like to point out that Tequila, you all had purchased enough rations just to get you through the traveling to the actual to Moleville. So you actually don't have any rations on you at the moment. If you want, you are familiar with the Hell's Kitchen, which you had seen prior to prior the prior afternoon. But that's up to you.
Right. I think I'd be waiting to go with other people because it made me a little uncomfortable there. He was spooky. So I'll go with Angus.
Okay. Is Church also following?
Sure. I'll go with them.
Okay.
Get some breakfast.
As you all begin to depart, you kind of check in on Drew, and you see him. You see Drew, this very small. I actually didn't realize how small he was. He's 4'11". He's Drew, this smaller warforged character, wrapped in all these different rags and different clothings, a witch hat on top, a druid of the stars, is currently slumped against the wall, and currently prodding and pricking at what you recognize is the Voltron complex that he was gifted, which is his spinal cord. So it literally just looks like a long metallic spinal cord that he has now removed from his body and is currently like pricking and prodding at. You could see the familiar that was gifted by Dr. Henry Jekyll seems to just be kind of like helping him out, like, yeah, just put it there and just like put some there. Okay. Oh, I gotta go, but like, yeah, sure. And you just see this servo cat, this like metallic cat made out of metal and whirring with gears and hopes and prayers, is just sitting there and seems to deactivate itself. But Drew looks incapacitated at the moment as he's trying to currently adjust and upgrade the Voltron complex. So it doesn't look like he's going to be joining tonight, this morning. But then also, you go to check in on Arthur's room, and it is empty.
Has anybody seen Arthur?
No? How would you miss him though? He's got like huge claw hands.
That's a good point. Maybe he's
I'm
already
sure
gone into town.
I'm sure we'll find somewhere or someone in this town who's suddenly afraid of an animal they've never seen before. All right, we'll be fine. He'll be fine. Probably.
I mean, I don't think I've ever seen anything that could really hurt him.
I'm sure he's all right. He'll make his way back eventually.
But you know what? We got that little devil that his grandma or whatever sent us with. We'll leave him behind to keep watch.
Oh fuck! I forgot about the madcap.
Yeah, just go ahead and
so
set
yeah,
the
you see this
madcap
tiny little-
down.
So yeah, there is this very you also notice the madcap is not there.
Oh no, my kid's gone. I forgot he existed for like 5 sessions, and now he's gone.
So did I, honestly. No, no, he's been accompanying with you. He's been there, just a fly on the wall. But but he is also not. You know he familiarizes himself with remaining alongside Arthur, and he has not, and he has disappeared. But venturing up to the top deck as you begin to depart to the Hell's Kitchen, you do see the two of them, and they are looking off the railing of the ship, and are looking at the rising sun, just staring. If you all want, you can make insight checks on Arthur.
Alright.
Whoever wants to, or if you want to, you could
I
just
guess-
walk up to him.
I
Okay.
guess I will.
Okay. So Aaron on a 6, Angus kind of just looks and he's like, just taking it in. Beautiful scenery.
They look like they're having a nice time.
Church on a 22. You kind of see that there's a bit of, it's a mixture of like, there's something a bit off. It's very confusing but it doesn't look like it looks like he's contemplating.
I wonder if there's something wrong with him.
And also Tequila on a 19, you would also have the same reaction. Kind of just looking, something's a bit off. He's kind of just
He's
contemplating.
He never really seemed like the type to be struggling with anything. Do you think we should talk to him?
Could be.
I mean, he's never been much of the talking type, but we can try.
Is everything all right over there, Arthur?
Are you all
I
just
kinda
yelling
like-
from like 20 feet away?
I kind of like am saying this as I'm like walking towards him.
You see Arthur kind of, his head kind of perks up to the side, and just like, he seems to register you, and he kind of just, you hear him give a sigh as he just says, I don't know. He's kind of you see him contemplating, trying to figure out what exactly he wants to say, or how in a way he wants to say it. As he looks, he turns back to you all, kind of just leaning himself back, using both of his arms, kind of just resting against the railing, looking away from you, kind of just like thinking about how he wants to respond. And he says, Look, I've really enjoyed this thing we've been doing, and I've honestly enjoyed trying to decipher what the fuck is wrong with all of you. But I gotta this scourge kind of looks out back out to this back out to the desert. The scourge is worrying me. Not me specifically. I can perfectly fine with it. It's mostly just my the gang. I'm just a little bit too worried about their protection. I trust those people, but I don't trust them in a good fight. Not against people like Zariel. If it's alright with you, I think I'm gonna head out. Just go and try to find my gang and see if I can just at least try to figure out if they're alright.
Are you taking the car with you?
No, you guys can keep the scrapper.
Oh, hell yeah. Travel safe, buddy. I stopped to pat the madcap on the head.
Oh, you want me to take that? Okay, fine. He looks down at the madcap and he's like, "Oh, you want me to take that? Are you sure?" He was really.
I
You
mean,
really
if he
seem to
wants to
like him.
stay, he can stay. That's
If you
understandable.
want him to stay, you can have it. You can totally have him.
Let's keep the kid.
But I saw some sloths down in the nearby in one of the shops. I think I'm gonna just take one of them and I'm gonna be on my way.
I bid you safe travels, my friend. It's been good to know you.
Appreciate it.
Uh,
It's been good.
yeah,
Don't
I think-
die.
It's been good to
Zariel's a
know
strong
you and
enemy.
hope whatever the fuck that is. He points at your tattoo. Hope whatever the fuck that is isn't anything more than what you've told me.
Oh, rest assured, everything will be fine in regards to this. I'll make sure of that.
I do not believe you.
Um,
Well,
travel safe. Protect your friends and don't die. Don't do anything reckless, Arthur. I know
I mean,
you.
he's gonna do something reckless.
I'm not making any promises.
Zariel's
As
a
he
strong
kinda just-
opponent.
If you
As he
do
kinda
anything
just, like,
reckless,
stretches like
make
it's-
sure it's cool.
He kind of just begins to like stretch like, well, I appreciate it. With that, I'll make my leave. Thank you guys.
Bye, Arthur.
And he makes his way down the walkway and begins heading into the town.
So as we start heading off for the Hell's Kitchen, I look over at my now 2 companions. Say, I think that's the longest conversation I ever had with that guy.
He was a good man, a strong fighter.
Hit real hard.
It's a shame to see him go.
It had huge, huge crab arms.
But like I always say, maybe our paths will cross again one day. Should they not, our paths will cross with a new friend that we can meet.
Yeah, we do need some new muscle, because we've gotten messed up like a lot, and that was with him. So,
Well, let's go get some breakfast, and then we can discuss all of this over a hot meal. And then I start sliding my way down to the ground.
Okay.
Is this thing still hovering in the air? Is it landed?
Oh no, it's resting on the ground.
Okay.
You see Arthur head. There's still like a little plank of wood that you all have
Okay,
been
I
able
see,
to
yeah.
just walk down.
And I start walking down to like go into the city
Okay.
to try to go get some break.
You
start heading
make it
towards
into.
Hell's
You
Kitchen.
kind of follow behind, like maybe 40 feet away from Arthur, and you see him go up, and you see him make his way up into this a building that's like neighboring the Hell's Kitchen, the one that the one that you'd seen yesterday. And you see the sign is called Huck's Sloth. Huck's Sloths, which is add to. And you kind of you have the understand. Those who are from Baitor kind of have an idea of what he was talking about when he was saying they had sloths. He's referring to relic sloths. Relic sloths are essentially the horses and the more animalistic transportation around Baitor. They are these massive, like, they look like very like white furry giraffes with giant curved tusks that creep out of their mouths. They grow up to massive proportions, but the younger of the relic sloths kind of are used as horses to travel around Baitor. But with that, you make your way into the Hell's Kitchen. There you can see nobody really is in there so far. There just seems to be a lot of empty tables. They seem as though they've been cleaned up from possibly a previous night, and you could see at the counter kind of cleaning glass, very standard bartender like, is the man you had known before as Morningstar. This rather taller man, human in nature, which is the first you've seen in a good while. A kind of peeking in, kind of beard, kind of face. Shaven head, only like a couple inches of length. He seems to be dressed in very formal clothing, which is the first you've seen forever. It's very modern and like tailor-made, like suit almost, but not a suit. It's the stuff underneath. I don't wear suits. I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. But yeah, he's just sitting there cleaning glass, watches you all come in, and just continues cleaning the glass.
Good morning. How are you today, Morningstar? Church
Peachy.
just waves to him.
What can I get for you this morning?
Do you have any eggs?
Eggs. Should be possible.
Yes. 10 eggs.
10.
Scrambled with cheese, please.
No, each one comes. Each one is 5 silver a piece, right?
My friends can pay you. They're rich.
I did
Kind of
not agree
he
to
kind of
pay
like
for.
looks from Loren, kind of looks from church and just looks to kind of not even moving his
I
head,
literally
kinda just,
don't
like,
look at
cocks
them
his
at
eye
all. I
over
just
to.
say it like literally like I know they got it. Don't worry. Like I'm not even like
Yeah,
remotely
no,
worried
his
about.
eyes are going. His head is still locked on your position, but his eyes trail off towards Angus and Tequila. Like, hey,
I shake my head in the background.
are you giving him like the signal like it's fine? He's kind of just waiting on like, are you paying for me?
I am shaking my head no.
He kind of looks back to church and he's just,
Hmm.
look, man, I don't really do business with people who say that person over there is paying for all of my shit. So
Well then,
I would kindly request
how
you pay for
about
your own 10 eggs, especially if you are willing to pay 5 gold for 10 eggs.
how about you make me the 10 eggs right now, scrambled with cheese, and I come back later and do some work for you. 10 eggs worth of work, of course.
You know, I always like dealing with deals, but this does not seem profitable for me. How do I know that you won't just simply run away with your 10 eggs.
All right, look.
Well, you have my word. I would never run away. I'm always a man of my word.
Words of a silver tongue don't mean shit.
Yeah, look, this man's tongue is full of shit. All right. 4 eggs. I got it. 2 for me, 2 for him. A cup of coffee. And
Alright?
Mm,
tequila, you hungry?
suppose
Yeah, I'll
two.
just have whatever's cheap. I don't taste things anyways, really.
I suppose 2 eggs will suffice.
We have. What am I thinking of? We have.
Is there any way I can try to persuade him to do the 10 eggs deal? Like,
No. Just
thought
flat
maybe I
out
could
no.
I thought maybe I could like wash some dishes or something.
I mean, if you want to try to like if you want to try to bargain with Morningstar, then go ahead.
I was just gonna like try to maybe do a persuasion to see if he'd like let me come back and like wash some dishes and give me the 10
Yeah, if
eggs.
you want to go ahead and roll for persuasion, you'll just have to tell me how exactly you attempt to persuade. What are you offering to him for these 10 eggs?
I'm basically telling him that I will come back and do any work that he needs me to do, and like just like I want him to see the honesty in my eyes
See,
as
the
I tell
problem is
him
that
that
you have been very at. See, the problem is that you have been very adamant about you leaving and coming back. He has been very adamant about the fact that you leaving does not entice him to accept this deal at all.
okay, well,
He want
I'll
if
tell
you
him
want to
I
if you
start
want to
telling
persuade
him
him, you're
that
gonna have to do the
if he
thing
doesn't need
now.
me to leave, if he doesn't want me to leave, I can just stay and like work off the eggs here through the rest of the day, and then the rest of the guys can go and wait for Mahadi somewhere else. The church really wants these eggs. He's very hungry. He has not eaten any real food in a while, and he usually is
Go
used
ahead
to
and roll for
eating a lot.
persuasion.
Oh, please.
On a 14, he kind of just looks to you and he says, "Look, your friend here, which by the way, 2 gold for the 4 eggs. Uh, your
2 gold
your
for
friend here has
eggs.
already offered to pay for 2 eggs. I feel like that is more than enough, unless he's willing to pay more for that. So
I'm not paying more for that.
he's
Ah,
not paying
well,
more for
you've
that.
got
He's not
me.
paying more for more.
I guess you've got me. And then I just take my 2 eggs and I look at it grumpily and I eat
Okay.
them reluctantly. And then I scrape off like a tiny little portion for Champ, and then I leave that for him to like eat later. I put in a little styrofoam box for him to have.
Okay. You see, Champ is on your shoulder, and you actually looking at him, he doesn't seem phased at this unholy looking bird on your shoulder. Even when you like hold up the plate to him, and he kind of just starts like he almost breaks the plate, just lunging forward to snack on the
Oh
eggs.
my God.
But yeah, so 2 eggs for Church, 4 eggs for Angus. So that'll be
Oh no, 4 eggs
3 gold.
total. I don't need to eat that much. I have spent too much money on some rat boy
Oh, I
this
thought you said
week.
4 eggs.
No, 4 eggs total. He can keep the other
Oh.
2.
Yeah, so 2 eggs. So 2 eggs for Church, and then 4 eggs for Angus. That'll be 3 gold.
You know what? I'm not gonna fight it at this point. I got extra eggs. I scrape off the 2 extra eggs so Champ can have a full meal.
Okay.
Church would never take food from Champ's mouth, so he just watches him eat reluctantly. Like he's like staring at him because he really wants to take the eggs from him and eat it, but he just like he lets him have his full meal.
You see you see them. You said you were feeding the madcap some eggs.
I hadn't even considered devils
Oh, I
needing
thought
to eat, but I was
who were you
consider.
scraping off the eggs to?
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm using a different mic, so if I'm sounding really muffled,
No,
I
it's
think he
um,
said
mostly
he gave
I
him the
think I just
champ.
gotta turn you up on my end because I think your microphone is low. Sorry about that.
do I sound better now?
Yes.
Yes. Okay. Oh yeah, I was scraping it off to feed the champ, but
Oh,
I didn't consider the fact that devils probably need to eat too.
you
Do
aren't
they?
actually entirely sure. You know these guys. There are restaurants across Baitor, but you're not entirely sure if they actually need the restaurants, or if they're just for the for the non-devil people that rarely ever show up in Baitor.
And so that as I'm eating the eggs, I address Morningstar and I ask him, "So, Morningstar, we saw an interesting statue at the front of your town, but it seems to be in disarray. Can you tell us a little bit more about that? What
Oh
happened to
well,
it?"
it was it was the statue of our little guardian angel. The one I
That's
had discussed with
right.
you last night about. The one
That's
that
right.
seems to wander in whenever there seems to be any trouble and just shoots his way out of it.
Shoots, you say?
Yeah.
Hmm.
Much like you much like your generous friend over there, points to Angus.
Hmm. Well,
Sounds real trigger happy.
Oh yes, he is quite, but to be fair, his opponents are quite more so. Though they don't really have a gun.
I'm very much trying to hide the fact that I'm very anxious just hearing this guy talked about. And so the last time I saw him, I got shot. How
hmm.
how often does this guy tend to get called out here?
Well, deals with, uh, he mostly goes to help people in Avernus, but whenever there seems to be a gang or some devils that rear their ugly faces here in Mulville, I normally deal with them, but occasionally, probably on a bi-weekly to the monthly basis, he'll show up just to take away my job.
Yeah, he seems to like taking shit. You said he's from Avernus?
No, I didn't really say that. I said he helped people in Avernus. I'm not sure where he comes from. He is human.
Hmm. Interesting. Can you tell us about these giant sloths? Where did they come from?
Oh,
How
the
did they
relic
get so
sloths. Those are
how did they get so
those
massive?
are deal. Those sold by the by Hawk, this spine devil. Uh, the relic sloths are basically just horses, kind of like cattle. They grow to very large proportions and are able to carry a lot of items and cargo. But the younger and the smaller ones, uh, probably only a couple of years old, are large enough to ride.
Hmm. I might give it a try.
I'm sure Hawk
Um,
would love to take those, would love to bestow those sloths off to your hands for a fee. He doesn't really need them himself. He likes to make adamant about.
a fee, you say? Hmm. And I just kind of
Yes,
No.
like,
he sells the
I look,
sloths.
I just look like I'm trying to cook up an
No,
idea.
you cannot. He also won't accept uh, simple laborers or a come again another time say offering.
Tequila, do not let him convince you.
You won't
I
be convincing him. He is much more of a of a coin hoarder than I am.
And how perceptive would you say Hawk is?
How perceptive.
Yeah, so his eyes
If you mean
sharp.
to steal the sloths from him, I doubt you'd be a success.
Steal! What an accusation! Me steal? I
He's
would
looking at
never.
you like he's tired of your shit right now. He has the most like, man, can you like I know exactly who you are and what you're doing. Can you shut the fuck up? The kind of expression on his face.
And I just kind of like, I was just interested. I was only curious about him. That's all. I've finished my food. Have a good day. And then I just kind of
I
like get
finished
up.
my food and I'm out of here.
I get up and I just like push my plate forward and I just kind of like slowly walk away from the table and I do not turn around at all. And Champ just kind of like hops. He kind of like hobbles out.
By the way, is anybody still also at the bar table by any chance?
Yeah, I'd be there.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
Tequila, as Church sets down the plate and begins walking away, you see Morningstar gives a roll of the eyes and a wave of and he waves a hand over top of the plate, and you can almost see all of the little scraps of eggs kind of just fizzle away, and before he snatches up the plate and seems to store it underneath of the table. He says, if that elf causes more trouble here, I hope you aren't
No.
the one standing in front of him.
No,
We'll keep him on his best behavior. He's going through a rough patch.
yeah, he's
And
just been kind of off.
I flip him the 6 gold I owe him, or 3 gold. I flip him the money
3
I owe
gold,
him.
and then probably like maybe a silver piece for the coffee. Which will be like 10 silver pieces is a gold. So if you want to hand him a gold, he'll hand you 9 silver back.
All right.
What do I owe him for whatever type of gruel I got?
So he would have definitely given you for the cheapest price. He gave you a small little a plate with like tiny little scraps of like this little like meat jerky. Which is a silver piece. He doesn't really tell you what kind of jerky it is. He kind of just it kind of just looks like dried meat.
Okay.
Once the money's passed off, I kind of quickly hurry out the door to keep an eye on our friend who's going through a rough spot.
Okay.
Church is currently just like, so I've jumped onto the roof and I'm kind of like looking out for Mahadi actually. Like I'm like actually like putting my hands over my eyes, like looking as if I'm just gonna be able to see him over the horizon, and I'm just
Okay.
kind of like scanning around, trying to see.
Make a perception check with advantage.
Okay.
Because you have Champ helping you out.
All right.
You guys just walk out. You have no idea where the fuck Church went, and then all of a sudden you just hear him like clamoring on on the rooftop. So on an 18, you kind of just look around trying to find something. You don't really know what you're looking for. You haven't actually seen the Wandering Emporium before.
I'm just kind of like looking for the shape of a man, like the shape of a person, like just anybody.
You don't see the shape of a
really.
person, but you definitely see something. Approaching from the left side of the village where you're at, like looking at this main road that kind of splits the village. If you look to your left, you see what Morningstar was talking about, specifically the full size of the relic sloths, as you see a massive 50-foot tall relic sloth about a mile away, making its slow approach towards the village.
Well, I'll be. Do you all see that over there? Those things are massive.
If you all look to that, you would definitely still also be able to see the relic sloth.
Does this particular relic sloth look familiar to me?
It does not. Well,
Ooh.
you have seen relic sloths before, but you've also seen the
Yes.
Wandering Emporium. The Wandering Emporium is not being carried by a relic. Well, it is being carried by a relic sloth, but it is basically the Wandering Emporium looks like a massive carriage that kind of unfolds into this massive into you honestly don't even know how it works. It kind of you just see it unfold into this massive trade market area. This relic sloth kind of looks like the one you had seen. It's a little bit bigger, but it's not carrying the Wandering Emporium behind it.
Got it. Well, that's only mildly off-putting.
Can I see anything on the relic sloth, or is it just the relic sloth?
You see on the back of it, it looks like a carriage, like a massive little carriage is kind of fastened onto the back of this relic sloth as it makes its slow approach towards the village. You can't really make it out a bit, but it looks like a tiny little it looks like a tiny little house that has just been placed on the back of this relic sloth.
That's weird. I'm yelling this out to everybody. It looks like there's somebody living on top of that thing. Odd. Let's go talk to them. And then I just like I leap off and I start heading in the direction of it.
Okay.
And then I actually send. How far away is it from me? Would you say?
It's about a mile.
About a mile. Okay,
It's a good mile away from the village itself, which is.
But it's just that big. Like I can. Okay.
You can definitely
so big
see
I
it.
can just kind of see it. Yeah. So I just kind of like stand and wait towards like the end of the street, and I kind of like I jump over to this building. Like I jump from here to about here. Right here. And I kind of am just like trying to get a closer look, trying to get closer as it approaches.
Okay. What's everybody else doing as the relic sloth is making its slow approach to Moleville?
So, as a retired lawman from Baitor, I feel a certain responsibility to keep up with this dumbass who's trying to steal sloths. So I'm gonna stick with Church and just make sure he doesn't get into too much trouble.
He has currently climbed all the way up to the top of a building and is kind of looking from a rooftop of what looks to be another restaurant, a very smaller and like shammy restaurant, but very similarly next to it seems to be another tavern or another restaurant of some sorts. But anyway, yeah, he's climbed all the way to the rooftop of this 2-story building and is now awaiting the arrival of this relic sloth.
I'm gonna just find a spot to sit down where I can keep an eye on him.
Okay.
And I'm gonna wait it out with him.
Are you moving to the other side of the road, or are you just staying right next to this second restaurant?
I'll probably stay close to the restaurant. It seems relatively smart.
Okay. Tequila, what are you doing?
I think Tequila's remembering that we also need to feed Ralph, so he's staying behind the order 2 eggs to go.
I don't know if Morningstar can understand Champ, but Church, from the way that he interacted with Champ when he first saw him, gets the sense that he's like okay with Champ at least like being around. So I send Champ and basically tell Champ to go tell Morningstar like, hey, there's a big thing approaching, and to like kind of give him like a couple of chirps and squawks so that he might like come out and let somebody know like what's actually going on or what's happening. So I send Church back
So the
in, and
problem is
he
that
or
find
Champ.
familiar. So the
Can
problem is that
he?
find familiar allows you to conjure an animal that
Mm-hmm.
gives you certain abilities, kind of has more of a link to you, but it's still an owl. It
Okay.
can't
But
really
I can
speak and it
communicate
can't
with
really
it.
communicate.
I'm telling him to do these things. He's not far enough away
Yeah,
from
I
me that
know
I can't.
you're telling him what to do, but it's not. But he won't. He one has his own kind of like conscience, but also kind of like he doesn't really know how to properly communicate. He won't be able to properly communicate to
Oh no, he's
Morningstar because
literally
he's an
just
owl.
jumping up and down on the like right in front of Morningstar, just squawking at him. Just kind of like alertedly squawking. And I
So
just
Tequila,
am giving Morningstar the benefit of the doubt to understand what that means.
so
To
Tequila,
understand that that means come
you look at
outside.
Morningstar. So Tequila, you look at Morningstar as Champ comes flying in and just starts jumping around on the bar table, squawking, trying flapping its feathers in front of him, and you just see the most deadpanned "I'm so done with this shit" kind of expression on his face as he's just looking at this, a hand slowly rubbing his temple, just like
Oh God, down, Chip, down. Just stop.
And Champ is just kind of like acting like he wants to leave, but he wants to leave like alerting you guys that he's like trying to go to the door, like how a dog would be trying to ask like an owner to go to the bathroom, sort of kind of
Mhm.
look.
So you kind
So
of
he's
just like
kind of
see
like,
Champ kind of just like jumping around, flapping his feathers, kind of giving off
yeah,
his
try
little
to just
screeches,
sort of like get him that, yeah.
and then he just like flies, and then he just like
And then
flies out of the
and then
tavern,
he
and he
kind of
just
just
says,
flies out, yeah.
Well,
"This
that was
better
sure
be,
something.
this better be something, or I'm keeping my promise." As he's looking at Tequila, and then and you watch him walk forward, and just pass through the bar table as he just makes his way to the door. As you see Champ eventually fly out the door, Church, and you see Morningstar comes alongside. He says,
And I run to this edge of the roof and I just yell over to him, Morningstar, do you know who's on
"Could
that
you get
sloth?
off of Treary's Tavern?
Oh, I'm sorry.
What are you
No
doing up
problem.
there?"
Well, look. And I point to the giant sloth that's approaching with the house on it, and
"Yeah, it's a
I just
relic
tell him,
sloth. It's a taxi service. Somebody's coming in. What?"
"Oh, well, I was just trying to get a better look." And I just do like a flip off and land back on the ground.
"It's a
Do you know
taxi
who's
service."
do you know who's coming?
"No."
Oh, it seems so grandiose. I thought maybe it was somebody important.
The relic sloths are just used as like horses and transportation services. This is literally just like a taxi service. I don't even know what that means, but it's a taxi service.
Hmm.
Somebody's just using a big, very large relic sloth to make its way over. It's not
Well,
that big of a deal.
do people normally move entire buildings on top of these slots?
That's just a carriage. That's just like a subway car. Again, don't know how I know this, but it's like a little mini room. It's a single room that their passengers are able to stay on. It's just so big because the sloth is big enough to house it. There's probably maybe only like 2 or 3 people on there.
How fascinating. I
Yes.
apologize then.
He waves you off and walks back into the tavern.
Have a wonderful
Tequila, you
day.
just hear the doors just just slam open as he steps back in.
And then I just look down. I thought maybe those people on that sloth would have some information about the man we're looking for. Well,
They
guess we're back
might.
to square one. They
Can we
might.
just not commit any trespassing while we wait on this?
Sure. And then I guess I guess church is just gonna wait.
Okay. So, um, tequila, it's another gold for the 2 eggs for Ralph. And you all kind of just wait about, kind of just waiting for this relic sloth, which by the way is moving kind of slow. It takes a good like 10 minutes for it to eventually get close enough so that it's actually in the village now.
God, that
But
thing
you
is
just see
huge.
this massive thing slowly make its way into the village. And as it gets to about here, I also see I also see you're moving Champ. Are you moving him to
He's just
where?
perched. He's perched right there.
Okay, so you perch Champ on the tip of this building that's right next to the relic sloth as it comes to a like stop, and then you just watch its legs kind of fold in on itself as it comes down to like a sitting position. As it begins to lower its head, it almost looks like that, like a camel, kind of just lowering itself down to the ground. Uh, which, by the way, on this building, before we go any further, as you all are approaching the village of Moleville, Ariel and Alana, can you guys describe your characters? Whoever would like to go first.
Sure thing. Alana is very beautiful half elf with golden hair. Uh, she is dressed in a sanguine dress, very clearly adorned in heavy and expensive jewelry and fine makeup.
Okay. And then, whereabouts would Alana be on the relic sloth?
Um, I imagine somewhere more private, or as private as you can really get in a confined space. Uh, just reviewing notes and ledgers.
Okay. Well, private would be whatever, however Ariel would be. Which, by the way, Ariel, could you describe your character? Chris? Oh, Joy.
Sorry about that. I could not get myself off of mute. I had to prop Discord and come back on.
Okay. Could you describe your character?
Absolutely. So Ariel is an air genasi, quite colorful. There you go. He has white hair. Looks like there might be some elven blood in him. Has some earrings and piercings and a tattoo of some kind that looks like it could be some kind of constellation on his chest, and about 5'8", 5'9", 160-ish pounds, so 170 pounds, something like that.
Okay. And whereabouts would Ariel be atop this relic sloth?
He would be wherever the highest point, the highest place that he could be.
Okay.
To get
Well,
the
that
best
would
view.
actually be the head of this relic sloth. So,
Okay.
as you all, Church and Angus and Tequila, if you walk outside, you would all see as this thing collapses onto the ground. Ariel is just standing on the head of this, relic sloth as it slowly makes its descent downwards, and eventually just rests its head on the sand. And with that, Alana, you'd probably have the entire uh, room area in the back carriage to yourself. So that would probably be where you are at the moment. And you kind of within the room you kind of feel the whole the whole relic sloth kind of just lower down, and you kind of get the sense that you've arrived.
Wonderful. I'll go ahead and start packing up and get ready to head out.
Okay. With that, Ariel, you come face to face. You come face to face about, well, not face to face. They're about like 30 feet away. You come face to face with a minotaur and a half elven that are just kind of just watching. What are you up to? Chris?
Look over at them. Um, is there a reason that you're looking at us?
I'm sorry if we came off as rude. Our genius friend over here gets very nervous when he sees large animals. He's getting better, but we're working on forms of exposure therapy with him.
I see. Well,
If you need something to eat, there's a guy over there who's a little overpriced, but not too weird. I think we'll probably be on our way. And I kind of turn and look back over at Church to make sure he's not causing more trouble.
Oh,
Hey.
I'm just like kind of like looking at them. Church is actually astonished right now. Like very much so astonished because Church hasn't seen like another elf-looking
This would actually be the
person.
first time you've seen an air genasi before.
Yeah, this is very, very new to Church. Church is getting a lot of new experiences right now, so he's just trying to kind of collect his thoughts.
Angus, they might know something, especially since like nobody else in this town will talk to us.
This is true, but they make me kind of nervous too. I'm not gonna lie.
Shit.
Well,
Hello.
Fucking awake.
Oh hey,
Look who's awake.
well, if they're here,
Sorry.
maybe
We
they've
can't
seen.
see you on the stream yet because you haven't set up reactive, but welcome to the stream, Jake. What are you there?
Wait.
Okay. Just
Hello.
Hello.
Yeah.
if you don't mind, while we continue with what's going on right here, Jake, did you see the little like instructions and the thing I asked everybody to do in the schedule chat?
Yeah. I did those. I think.
Okay. If you could do that real quick before before we introduce you back into with everybody, that would be great.
Okay.
But yeah, with that, anyways, carry on.
If they've been here before, then maybe they've seen Mahadi before. Let's ask them a few questions.
So are you having this conversation like out loud so that
I'm
Ariel is
saying
like
this. I'm
staring?
kind of like saying this, like whispering it, like just in the amount of like volume that Angus can hear me, but not so that where they can hear me. So I'm basically saying this to Angus and Tequila, like behind me, like, yeah, I agree. Let's go over there and ask them some questions. Maybe they've passed through a couple of times and maybe seen the Emporium, know a little bit more about the schedule, anything, any information's better than nothing.
Alana, at this point, you would also be stepping down from a rope ladder that the actual driver of this relic sloth, this very small imp, kind of flies down as you begin to approach the ledge. Kind of rolls out this rope ladder, that and kind of lets you drop down to it.
Lovely. Interesting. I guess I join with my companion, standing slightly behind him just in case.
Okay. You're also probably like he's probably also like 10 feet above you. I don't know if you stepped off from the head of this relic sloth at the moment.
Oh no. Well, as behind him as I can be,
Yeah.
with 10 feet separating us vertically.
Wait, so we didn't meet the new guys yet, or what?
Yeah. As you all see these newcomers show up, an old comer makes his way, kind of fidgeting a bit with from just fixing up this the Voltron complex that he was just dealing with. Drew, Jake, could you introduce yourself to the newcomers and the stream, and also describe your character?
Hello, you, uh, hi, I'm Jake. I'm started playing D&D not too long ago. It's, really interesting. I mean, uh, and, uh, then, uh, and I'm in a different time zone, so that's why I didn't show up.
Okay.
But yeah, Drew is a Warforged druid cleric who is a druid of the stars and the cleric of Twilight, as he is about being supportive to the group and helping guys get out of trouble. That's his general personality. Unless something incredibly stupid happens, then he just shuts down.
Okay. So yeah, so you approach your companions that are currently standing before a 50-foot relic sloth, that is kind of hunkered down, and has let these two new passengers make their way off of it. So yeah, with that, Angus and Drew, or Angus and Church, if you want to continue.
Well, if y'all are wanting to step up and talk to strangers, I ain't your parents. I ain't here to tell you no. I'm just gonna, keep a step back and keep an eye on things.
I'm going to just like sort of walk up and approach them, and say, "Hello, hi. Um, would you mind if we ask you guys some questions? We're just traveling through here looking for somebody. We were wondering if you could help us out. My name's Church. What's y'all's names?"
I'm Ariel.
Ariel, nice to meet you. And
I'm
then Church is very extremely taken aback by Alana. Like he just feels like a weird sort of like connect. This is the first time I believe Church has ever seen another elf, especially another half elf. I think like almost in his life. So he's kind of spazzing. He kind of has like mixed emotions about it, especially because you look all fancy. So Church just like kind of looks Alana up and down, and you can see that he has like conflicted feelings about her just kind of being present, like in his presence.
I
Alana,
think Alana immediately clocks the group and goes, "Okay, these are people I don't know and look like they could rob us." So she's going to go ahead and subtle spell detect thoughts and just get some general vibes from the people around her.
Okay. So are you uh
Just
are
base
you
level, nothing
just base level?
intrusive.
Okay. So you all don't even notice. You kind of what does this detect thoughts casting look like from Alana?
I think it's a subtle spell, so there's no components to it. It just kind of happens. And
Okay.
I think reflectively in the back of her mind, she goes into a very deep, dark, underwater place that truly is pitch black, and in the depths you can hear the writhing of tentacles and slippery, wet, and disgusting things. Uh,
Okay.
Purely in her head, as she begins to hear the murmured and murky whispers of the people's voices that she is using the spell on.
Okay. So what is everybody's baseline thoughts going on right now in this moment?
Um, Church is thinking about a the fact that Alana looks like a noble, and so Church is slightly you feel some slight resentment towards her initially already just off the fact that she looks like a noble. Um, but he also has like some slight intrigue because she's also the first elf that he's met, and he's interested and curious about that whole like aspect of life. So you can, but Church is like openly expressing these mixed emotions as well. Like it doesn't look like he's trying to hide the way that he feels about her, but that's like the most pressing thing. Like as soon as he made eye contact with Alana to him.
Okay.
Uh, Immediately start hiding all my valuables, just as best I can.
Okay. Um. Uh. What about Angus?
So, by and large, when you probe Angus's brain, you realize that his head's kind of empty. There's not a lot going on up there, but you get the sense that it is just way too early for him to be dealing with Church's bullshit. But he's gonna do it because he's a good friend, and he's gonna try.
Okay. Drew.
His most big thoughts is, how do we get in trouble again? I swear to God, if we get in trouble in the new fast 5 minutes, I will just explode myself.
Okay. And then lastly, Tequila.
Tequila's probably like, I bet we could mount cannons on that sloth. Just side-mounted cannons. Boom, headshot.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay, so yeah, you kind of get all of these different thoughts kind of just like wafting around. There's a there's a small but amongst them you hear the four voices, but then amongst them there's a faint fifth, almost like a oh my god, new friends. Oh my god, it's so cool. Kind of just like flickering, like and it's the voice of like a more feminine voice, kind of just like uh a younger feminine voice kind of just like flickering in and out. It's a lot more distant than the actual than the people in front of you.
Interesting. I think immediately she has an idea of, I need to invest research into cannons that can be mounted on horses and giant rune sloth, or not rune sloth. I've been playing Elden Ring and I can't get the idea of rune bears out of my head. Um, my point being, should 100% invest in that. That is true war profiteering right there. Uh, but yeah, getting a baseline, I think she lowers her guard slightly, but still keeps up that kind of noble poker face, where it is absolutely nigh on impossible to tell what she's thinking.
Okay. All right. So yeah, with all of that said, how is ever? So I'm assuming Tequila, and Drew, Tequila, and Angus are all just standing back and just letting Church just play this out, just waiting for something to happen. So so Church, with all of this shit going on in your mind, how does that express physically?
I just like look as like I look confused basically. Like I look like I'm like trying to stifle down like anger, but I'm confused about why I'm angry. Like I'm not quite sure like and that's basically what his facial expression is showing that he's like sort of uneasy, but he's also sort of interested. He's sort of upset, but he's like, I don't have any reason to be upset. It's not like this. It's not like she did anything to me, you know.
Mm-hmm.
So it's sort of like all of that wrapped into one in a sort of look, and he
So
kind of like
Ariel
is
and
just.
Alana, you kind of see this elven person, half elven, kind of closer than the other people in the back. Kind of just like there's a bit of anger on his face. Alana, you kind of you understand why because you had probed his mind, but Ariel, you're kind of just like you almost feel like you're kind of getting a standoff. You almost feel like a standoff kind of vibe from this half elven in front of you.
So he will move, not aggressively, but he will move so that he is between Church and Alana.
Okay.
Is there? You seem a bit out of sorts or angry, and we've just met. What's going on?
Mm, angry? No, I I was simply perplexed. Is all. I've never met somebody so beautiful before. I kind of don't want uh the whole background about churches, like the reasoning for all of that to
Yeah.
like
No.
be out. Church kind of doesn't want to talk about it. So he just says
That's
like it sounds like he's lying and just coming up with it on the fly, but he's just gonna say and stick with the fact that she was so beautiful he was taken aback. Like
Mm-hmm.
and he just was confused. Like he just didn't know how to express it. That was all. He's just weird expressing his emotions.
Yep. So yeah, Ariel, you kind of just get you kind of just like you kind of get the sense that there's like a half-assed kind of uh kind of half-assed response. Alana, you know
right.
that's full of shit. But uh but but yeah, Ariel, you kind of just get this half-assed response. Kind of there's an understanding that that he's not telling the
I,
full truth.
I, I'm not going to press it at this point. It's not worth it. Um,
But um my friends and I were just wondering if you could give us some information about a man that we were looking for. That's all. I promise you, they're harmless. Just look at our squishy little friend over there. And I point to Tequila.
The wave.
You just see this
what is
tiny.
it?
You just see this orange plasmoid in a submarine suit, kind of just.
Huh,
And
interesting.
I ask Ariel, we've been looking for the Wandering Emporium and a man who goes by the name of Mahati. Mahati. Have you have you seen him or met him before?
Would I know who this person is?
Nope.
Well,
Uh,
well, what brings you all to Moleville?
personal reasons.
Ooh, mystery. I love mystery. We should be friends. Come on, let me have Angus buy you a drink.
Hey, I already bought you eggs.
What? Wait a minute.
Just so blunt about
Wait
it.
a minute.
Just so
Why
blunt about
are
it.
Out of curiosity, how tall is Angus?
Angus, I never assigned like a hard height to
I
him,
think
but I figured he'd
Angus-
probably be around like
I believe
6'1",
you said-
6'2".
I think I think on your character sheet it was 6'1" or 6'2". So yeah, he's a little bit taller.
This 5'4" halfling just cranes her neck up to look at Angus.
But actually looking at the sizes of everybody, Church is taller than Angus by like a good 2 inches.
Yeah,
I
think-
will say, I pictured Angus's height officially ending where his head does, not where his horns reach.
Uh-huh. Yeah, I figured, yeah.
But
Beefy
I've
boy.
also never considered the shape of his horns too heavily.
Oh yeah, you do also notice, Alana and Ariel, that his horns seem to almost be replaced by this mechanical horns that have been that he kind of has like on top of his actual horns. Just random thing wanted to point out.
That make you a cyborg?
I guess it would probably make him more of a cowborg. I'm sorry, this character originated out of puns.
Yeah, jokes.
Catwork.
He's a Miniborg.
Actually sounds good.
Mini cyborg.
No,
Orgatar?
we have not seen the person you were looking for.
It seems that nobody's seen him, and he's always only ever passing through.
I mean, it is a wandering emporium.
Very true.
You're also asking me if I've seen a single individual when there are truly thousands and thousands of people in the world.
Yes, but it appears that this particular individual makes his way through this town pretty frequently. I figured that you were here on business that may be business that you attend to often.
Would I be here in business? I feel like there's definitely a possibility she has her fingers in like some of the shops around here.
You have not heard of the Wandering Emporium. You've been around. There's a lot of different. You've been around all these different adventures that you and Ariel have been on. Nothing about the Wandering Emporium.
Never heard of it. Well, sorry I can't be of more help, but it is. what it
Drew
is.
doesn't believe you.
Of course, no
Drew, do
problem
you
at
want to make
all.
an insight check?
You want me to make
Yeah.
a deception check? Or persuasion, I guess, because I'm not
Are
lying.
you making a deception check?
Are you making? Oh, I'm not
I'm
lying.
not
Are you
technically
making it?
lying.
Oh,
Well, I guess it's trying to. It's deception to see if I can keep them from seeing past the poker face I currently have up.
okay. So
Yeah,
yeah,
yes.
if you want to try to. Okay, so
It's
yeah,
a
you can
plus
go ahead.
8 to the roll no matter what I do. Okay.
Okay, go ahead.
That's going to be a 12.
Okay. So yeah, Drew, you are not able to truly see if she's lying or not through this poker face that she's kept up since you've seen her.
Guys, I think we should not trust her.
Just out loud.
Yes. He has no sense of tact or...
Alana, you full ass hear that.
Racist. Fully just starts walking off after hearing that.
Where are you walking off to?
Where would I go? I guess it's just onto business, because there's no real incentive for her to keep talking to these people, because they have nothing for her, and all they want is something from... They have nothing for her, but she has nothing to gain by talking to them.
Okay.
So I can't think of a way to justify why should we still continue the conversation.
Okay. Well, there's either you can go back to the relic sloth that you had just came from, which is also you understand is not yours, and the imp that actually was driving the relic sloth is actually about to make his way out of there. It seems like he's about to he's currently restocking on a few things. He's wandered into this building into this building, the building next to next to the Hell's Kitchen, and seems to have seems to be restocking. But you also know that Angus pointed out the Hell's Kitchen, which is right beside where the imp had just went into.
Gotcha. Is Hell's Kitchen a tavern or some other business?
Are you asking, or are you asking me?
I'm asking you.
Looking at it, yeah, it looks like a tavern, like a standard restaurant.
Gotcha.
But
Well,
to be fair,
I could most
both buildings side by side look like restaurants. The one that the imp went into looks a little bit more shabby, not as kept up.
Gotcha. Yeah, I most certainly head to Hell's Kitchen. Could
Okay.
use a bite to eat.
All right. So yeah, you all watch it. So Drew just openly is like, guys, I don't think we should just. And you just see Alana just give up and walk past you all towards the Hell's Kitchen. Ariel, you see Alana go off to the Hell's Kitchen. What are you doing?
Ariel will go with her.
Okay. So yeah, both of them
I
kind
mean,
of pass you by.
especially since the two of them have just been insulted. We should not trust these people. People that just came up and started talking to us, and then one of them says, we should not trust them.
Yeah. So yeah, you both watch. So you all watch just as Ariel and Alana both walk it back into the Hell's Kitchen. From where you see as you both walk in, which by the way, who is anybody following them or?
I mean, Tequila will say bye as they leave.
I'm gonna have
And
Champ follow them.
Okay.
And just let them leave and have Champ
Do you
follow,
want?
and kind
Are
of
you
like
intentionally
hover.
trying to make Champ hide?
I would like Champ to be as stealthy as he can be. Yes.
Okay.
Like, to try
Go
to
ahead
avoid
and
being
make
seen.
go ahead and make a stealth check for Champ.
I'm gonna go feed Ralph. Stay out of trouble, please.
Okay.
All right.
So,
Well, are you also
um,
looking through? Are you also looking through Champ's eyes?
yes, I will be. So what do you want me to roll for stealth?
That would just be a wisdom check
Wisdom.
if he doesn't have a specific perception thing. Okay.
Ugh.
So I'm assuming Ariel and Alana's passive perception is greater than 9.
My passive perception is 17.
Yep. So you are easily able to see this haunting, gaunt, undead-looking owl.
But he's
kinda
still
just fly in
also like
alongside you.
hovering around. Like I want him to be in the air. Like so like yeah, they can see him, but I don't want his motive like yeah, they probably like I don't want them to be able to put two and two together. Like they just see that there's some weird creepy owl around them like
Okay. So just flapping off in the corner, kind of just making just flapping off in the corner. You can just see this owl kind of just perched, kind of just like flapping rigorously in the corner, trying to keep itself aloft as you walk into the Hell's Kitchen.
So did I see this bird with
Oh, yeah.
those people?
You
Okay.
did not. No, you didn't see that. You didn't see You didn't see the owl.
no,
with
Champ
them.
would have still I didn't mean to. Champ would have was perched up on the top
Yes.
the whole
So
time.
you
So
would
if they
not have.
didn't
So yeah.
see him,
So
then nah.
so yes,
Can I make
you would
an
not see.
insight check to see if this is a familiar then?
Yeah, you can go ahead and make an Arcana check if you want to, or like an
Sure, that works
investigation
fine.
check.
I have +7. That's a 17.
Looking at it and mostly at its like stillness, you can definitely kind of get the idea that this is some kind of familiar, and whoever is whoever's familiar this is currently seeing through its eyes. Which, by the way, Church, where do you go to currently to like zone out to see through this owl?
They've already passed us, right? Like they're already
Yes,
in the
they are
Hell's
in
Kitchen,
they are in the tavern.
and we're all just kind of like outside of the tavern.
Yes.
I go right back to where Morningstar told me to get down from earlier.
Fucking hell. Okay. Yeah. So you climb up, vaulting. So it's honestly like maybe a good minute between when you walk into the Hell's Kitchen and when you actually see this owl kind of fly in. But yeah, you can definitely. So as Church kind of zones out on the rooftop uh what um of what of what Morningstar had called Triri's Tavern, or Triri's Tavern, or as it's titled, Triri's Tastes. You kind of zone out and look through the eyes of this owl, who is hovering in the air and is very visible to Alana and Ariel. But actually, maybe not towards Ariel, actually, because as you both walk into this room, into the Hell's Kitchen, there is the similar man, what looks to be the tavern keeper, but there's also a new figure in this room, sitting at the bar table, hunched over their sort of dark leathers and a hood kind of concealing themselves. They're kind of just sitting at the tavern bar. Ariel, Ariel, what's your passive perception?
18.
18. Yeah, you definitely catch the similar colorings and the similar uniform, if there is any, of the gray ribbon.
He will make his way over.
Okay. You make your way over to the tavern. How do you approach the bar?
I make my hands are nowhere near a weapon. But I walk up rather purposefully towards this figure.
Okay.
Hello.
He doesn't move, and you almost see the bar keep behind the table, kind of just like look to you, look back, look like up and down, as he hands the guy at the table a glass of water, which he seems to have purchased, and kind of moves off, and the keep kind of just moves off to the side, leaving you two kind of in this little bubble. But no, he has not acknowledged you.
I, in a low voice, pitched so that only the other figure can hear. I believe that we work for or have connections with the same organization.
Are you still saying this from behind him, or if you walked up to the bar table?
I'm walked up to the bar so that he can see me.
Okay. He's looking down. You can't really see his face from within his hood. But as you say this, he says, "Oh, believe me, I am well aware." And you recognize his voice, and as he turns his head to face you, you can see this older man, kind of grizzled expression on his face. There's like a scar on his right side. His hood kind of like pulls back, revealing bits of like black hair kind of trickling down from the top of his head. This is Erevis, the man. This is Erevis, if you can recall from the thread.
Yes, I do. He was, if I recall, the person that
Okay.
helped train him.
Yes.
What brings you here, my mentor?
I'm retired, Ariel. I'm just looking to settle down. Don't really have much going on at this point.
I never thought that you would be one to retire.
Me neither, bud. The Grey Ribbon doesn't have time for the old and weak. Victims
You're
of
hardly old or weak, but
No, but everybody eventually becomes a victim of time.
Can Champ hear this conversation?
Yeah, he's able to hear this conversation
Okay.
from in the tavern.
Okay. Sorry, just wanted to ask that real quick. Okay.
yeah, no problem. And you're drinking water? Are you ill?
I don't drink. I don't drink.
Ah. Did he used to drink, or is this something new, or
Nope,
is this...
you've never actually seen him. You've never actually
Okay.
seen him outside of the services of the Grey Ribbon.
Okay, I got it. I was not aware that you did not drink. Can I at least buy you a meal to tell me what's more about what's going on here?
What do you mean? I'm just buying a drink.
I
And you know,
understand. I understand that, but do you live? You said you're retired. Do you live here? Anything interesting? Anything that we should be looking out for?
not at the moment. I'm mostly just wandering.
All
You
right.
might have also been able to. How shall I say? He almost he. Champ. You almost hear from Champ's eyes. You can almost hear just nonsense in this next sentence. He just says something very random. But to Ariel, you know he is speaking to you in Thieves' Cant, as he says. I might have also heard of Gaius.
He's alive. You've heard of where?
Is that not what you're here for?
Well, yes, but yes, I had heard that he was alive, but was not entirely certain what. I knew that he was in this area, but what have you heard?
Alana, what are you doing at the moment? After
Uh,
acknowledging that this owl is a familiar.
I'm trying to think. I think at the moment she is listening into their conversation to see if anything of major importance is said, and if she feels like something is, she is going to. She has a plan in action, basically.
Okay.
So mostly she's just sitting at the bar, more discreetly, not trying to be hidden or anything, but just not very open about it, and just listening in as best she can.
Okay. Ariel, he says, I am not sure myself if he is alive, but I also seem to be able to pick up that little, some words from this desert that he was somewhere around here.
Well, we did meet some people. They had a question for us. Maybe they've. Well, and that's all that you've heard is that he's
I've heard
possibly
that he
been
was here.
spotted around here.
I've heard that he was here. That is all I know.
Thank you. That is more information than I had before, and it confirms what I have seen and heard from the. Thank you. I must find him if I can.
If you need my help, I'll be here alongside. Here, just ordering water, I think. I don't know if they serve anything else non-alcoholic. You see the bartender kind of just shakes his head. No, I don't know why the fuck you would order anything other than what. I don't know why the fuck you would order anything other than alcohol in a bar. He shrugs and he's just, well, if you need my help, you know where to find me. I think there's Favu's accommodations. Is an inn that I'm staying in.
What was the name of the inn again?
Favu's Tavern. Or Favu's Accommodations.
All right. I will look you up if I need to. He will go over to where Alana is. My friend has confirmed that Gaius may be here.
Interesting. What do you know?
Not much more than I know that he is supposed to be in this area and that he's actually alive.
Not
He's
much to
supposed to
go
be
on.
somewhere. No, I'm. Perhaps we should talk more with those rather rude folks. They were looking for someone, perhaps. Is Gaius under a different name? I don't know, but perhaps it would be worthwhile talking to them.
Maybe. Well, if we do choose to do so, they'll know ahead of time. She immediately looks over at the owl dead in the eyes.
Church.
Rude, and I'm assuming that Gaius, I mean that Ariel.
Ariel does also see the bird. He saw
Yeah.
He clocked the bird as soon as he walked in. Which, by the way,
Right, that's
Church now. Champ is getting a stare down from Alana.
He just squawks in her face and doesn't move at all. No flinching.
Okay.
Boy, these people are rude, and
God,
they're
these
spying on us.
Would it be a waste to use a second level spell slot?
Once they say they're spying on us, I just have Champ squawk again, and then just soar away.
Okay.
And just soar off and just soar
So
out
yeah,
the
you just see
door.
this ghostly owl just squawk at you twice and then just and just slam through the doors.
And then
Uh,
he's gonna kind of just try to. He's just trying to kind of like fly about as far away from me as he can get. This is 50, so like he's gonna like fly like away so that they're not gonna like be looking for him. Like he's like up in the air, like all the way over here. But I'm pretty sure this is close enough. Yeah, it's still within 100 feet, so I can still communicate with him from over here. But he's gonna like fly over there so that they can't tell which one of us he belonged to.
Okay.
And then I'm gonna jump down and uh basically share with the rest of the party pretty much the conversation. Like I let Angus and Tequila know, like, hey, I know Drew said that we need to be a little bit weary of these guys, so I sent Champ in after behind them.
I am not
Um,
here. I'm not a part of this. I am
oh,
feeding Ralph.
it seems like
You
they're.
make
It
it
seems
sound like
you
he's
make
our
it, you make it
pet.
sound like it's a pet,
I
but Ralph
can't-
is probably you kind of like
He-
walk up with the eggs, and Ralph is already just kind of like
he
waking
might
up
as
and,
well
like,
be Tequila's pet. Like
Every polycule got the pet rat boy.
no, god damn it.
He has no money.
But yeah, he's kind of just probably woken up, and he kind of thanks you for the thanks you for the eggs, kind of very generously. And then you'll probably walk back to the airship. But yeah, so in church, so Angus and Drew, you basically just get the gist that that Champ was spying on them.
I'm vaguely annoyed at this knowledge, but I'm still listening.
Okay. So Ariel and Alana, you just see this thing fly out and just barrel through the doors. What's up to now?
Well, Ariel, for one, not super concerned about this ghostly owl.
did I join back? Sorry.
He will go out
Okay.
towards where these people are, or were, that they'd been talking with, and stride rather purposely towards them. And he is using all of his movement to do so. I take that back. If Alana is following him, he will not move. He will not. He will make the same pace. He will move so she doesn't fall behind.
Okay. So you both begin to. I'm assuming Alana is following Ariel.
yes.
Okay. So the two of you, begin to approach the rest of the group, which is which you could probably overhear is about Church just to Church just talking about how Champ was spying on them.
What?
Well, at least
What?
they aren't trying to be hidden about it.
Was it like that? Was it that quick between the time that I jumped down to talk to them and the time they got out? Were they able to hear me?
You went to. They barreled out the door. Champ barreled out the door, went over to hide in the ruins, and then you got out of. And then
Well,
you got
it
out
was
of the
like
trance
that
the
was
bit.
all like kind of like a simultaneous sort of thing. Like as he left, that's when I kind of like I cut the vision, jumped down. Like as he was going over to do his thing, I was kind of like speaking with them. I just kind of said them in separate like instances, but they were
Okay,
supposed to
so
kind of like happen
so
like
what
yeah,
do you,
like
how are you continuing the conversation?
I basically just like asked them, what do you guys want to do about these guys? Should we try to investigate them more? They seem like
Guys,
they're
the
kind of
last
not
time
up
we
to
helped
something
two people,
great.
uh, the last time we
I
had to
just kind of
help two
asked Drew and
people, it
Angus, like,
led to us
what do you guys
attacking the
wanna,
castle.
what do you guys wanna do?
Sorry, Drew. What were you saying?
The last time we went to help two
Basically,
No,
people,
no,
Ariel.
Drew,
Lorenzo.
not church. Church.
Oh, I thought
Lorenzo,
you
can you
said
hear?
dude. I'm
I'm
sorry.
casting silence person on church. I don't have that spell, but I do now. Drew, what were you saying?
Just to be clear, Lorenzo, can you hear Jake?
No, he's muted.
No, he's not.
I'm not.
No, you may have to get out of Discord and go
Oh,
back
I'm
in.
sorry. I'm
Because
sorry. There
it's
was an echo on his mic earlier for me, and it was really bad. So I had turned him down. That's why I couldn't hear him. I
Okay,
apologize.
because you were just constantly talking over him as he was trying to talk, as he was trying to
Oh,
respond to you.
I'm sorry. I apologize. I could not hear you. I'm sorry.
Okay. So with that, Drew, what was your response again?
As a church was saying, so what do you want to do with those guys? Should we investigate further? He says, the last time we helped and investigated two people, we raided a castle with a dragon. I don't think we should do that again.
Hey, that dragon was a good man and a better friend, all right?
But it was
At this
still a
point, you would
dragon,
walk
and
in.
we still raided a castle.
At this point, Ariel and Alana would walk in on something about raiding a castle.
Look, he was a good guy. He didn't hurt anybody too badly. It went fine. We're all still alive.
Yeah,
It went
but
fine.
we barely made it out of there.
And I just kind of go, "What? Shh." And I kind of like point over to them walking out. Would I notice that they kind of like, because I was in the middle of a conversation, would I notice that they walked out?
What's your passive perception?
16?
Yeah.
Okay, so I kind
yeah,
of
we
go,
weren't
shh.
making it. Neither of us were making any. Well, I don't want to speak for Alana, but I don't think either of us were making any attempt to be selfie or hide what we were doing.
Oh no, like just in case I didn't, like nobody
Yeah, it was
noticed you
mostly
guys.
Yeah,
just
no,
like
no, I
like.
got, I got it. No, I understand.
Okay, so yeah, Alana and Ariel, you would be able to walk in on the conversation to about where you would hear something about a dragon in a castle.
War crimes, I swear. Lovely.
Yeah, look, we investigated that castle. We befriended a dragon. We saved a god. Why are you acting like any of that went poorly?
Wait.
He does have a point.
You, excuse me. You, befriended a dragon. You saved a god.
It was a long story.
No.
She's okay. So for the record,
She-
Angus has an intelligence of 8, so I will absolutely say things incredibly wrong at times. But out of
That's good
character,
to
Just
know.
make a
out of
history
character,
check. Just
the
make
people
a
we saved were directly tied to the council in Kindori that were like Egyptian gods. However, they were not gods themselves. But Angus is fully convinced that these were fucking deities and they needed their help.
I am very amusing because his, to know that as a player, and how did you rescue a god?
very carefully.
No.
Shot some demons. It was a good time.
Very
It
careful.
looked real fucking cool.
No.
Wasn't it awful? I'm pretty sure didn't we like
George almost died.
I almost
2
died.
times.
Didn't I get trapped in the room with the dragon and you guys
You
were on the other side?
almost die every time we get into a fight. All right, it's fine. That's just
Almost.
Tuesday.
Almost. What would church be without walking that thin line?
And Drew showed
A
up with an
safe
army of
man?
robots. All we got to do is get an army of robots, and this investigation will go fine.
Oh, Drew, safety's for the faint of heart.
So, you had asked us earlier if we knew of a person. What
Yeah,
was his name again?
kind of a weird fellow. His name is Mahandi. I've heard him called like Mahandi the scoundrel. Supposedly, when I met him, he looked like whatever that Morning Star fella is over at the Hell's Kitchen. But I don't know. He was all twisty and shit. I was told he might be like something called a Rakshasa. I don't know, some weird cat thing. But anyway, I got a few questions for him. The least of which being, why the fuck this thing does this? And I pull out my
No!
gun and just fire a sacred flame vaguely off into the middle of the street.
You just
Boom! You just watch Angus pull out this 6-shooter revolver, and it just unleashes a sacred flame just out of the fucking barrel of the gun.
Wow.
It does that. But when Tequila made, our slime guy, when he made it, all it could really do was this. And I fire off an Eldritch Blast.
Drew slaps
You
the
just
gun
see this
out of his
radiant-
hand.
you just
As
see this
Drew
radiant
slaps the
shot of light
gun-
just shoot out of the gun as well.
As
The
Drew
loud
slaps
crack
the
of a
gun,
gun.
Church slides in between and says, "Wait a second. You guys weren't very interested in speaking us when we asked you earlier. What's changed since you left the Hell's Kitchen?"
I too am looking for someone. I named Gaius. But he is human.
Human, you
I-
say?
Yes.
Interesting.
That's what that morning guy, he's one of those, right?
He's one what?
I don't know if you met him yet. I'm sorry, I did miss. Which restaurant did they go into? Y'all go into the
They all
tavern
went into
or
the
No,
Hell's
the
Kitchen.
they
place
went
next
into
door?
Hell. We went into Hell's Kitchen.
Okay, yeah, the guy who was running it, one of those guys, right?
I'm assuming if he's human, yes, for sure.
I don't think they actually walked in and spoke to Morningstar. I think he just
We-
went and talked to Avernus.
Oh,
We did
regardless.
see, but we did see the bartender because he handed him the drink.
Yeah,
That
nice
was-
guy.
that was
Charges way
Morningstar.
too much. Yeah, so you're looking for one of these weirdos. We're looking for someone impersonating one of these weirdos.
Gaius is a human. He is not a weirdo.
And if
Well,
we
maybe
may
where
ask-
you're from. What were you saying?
If we may be so forward, what's your reason for looking for this Gaius?
He was my fiance, and he disappeared.
My condolences.
Oh. Wow, that's
I'm sorry,
terrible.
what?
It's
Drew,
Beyonce,
could you
and he
repeat that?
disappeared.
Yes, he was my
No,
fiance.
Drew, not
Oh,
Chris.
Oh.
Drew.
Oh,
My condolences. Isn't that like uh, I'm I'm sorry for what happened? Something in English.
How long has he been missing?
5 years.
And Church is just trying to like pretend like he didn't hear this whole conversation already. Like he's really trying to make it seem like he has absolutely no idea. Well then,
Insight check.
I'm sure that if you all could help us, we could help you.
If it makes you feel any better, I had a fellow my own back home who kind of got wasted by the lady we're after right now. Been there, lost that type. I'm sure we can help him find back or bring him back alive.
Supposedly he is alive, though I can't know that for sure. But I, at least, am willing to help you find this. How do you say the name again? Miyata?
I believe the man we're searching for, his name is Mahati.
Mahati, yes. It would
But
help if I wrote,
hmm,
yes.
but to be frank with you, we are actually in Moleville waiting for Mahati. Apparently his wandering emporium comes through these parts, so we feel as though it would implore us to actually stay here and rest. Is there anything else that, or do you know where exactly your Gaius was spotted last?
Only somewhere in this area, not anything specific.
Hmm.
Does he like to do some shopping? Because we're looking for some shopping.
He did indeed like to shop.
Hmm.
Well, I might know where to look.
He was also a bit of an artist, so
I
Oh
don't
no.
remember if Mahadi sold those kinds of things, but I'm
He
sure
sold
he
all
did.
kinds of stuff. You have probably seen a few bits of art in his wandering emporium.
You know, in a way, you could say that this thing here is a piece of art. And I cast prestidigitation from the tip of my gun to make very pretty sparks fly out.
That's very
Ariel
nice.
just holds his head in his hand.
And then I say,
Ariel just affects
I say you could even call this a piece of art, and I cast minor illusion, and I make the Mona Lisa, like an exact replica of the Mona Lisa framed in my hand, and just like hold it up. Or
You get this
and
very
it just
blurred
it's just
image
there
of
actually, yeah.
you get this
It's just
very
kind of
blur-
there. Yeah.
You see, from this tattoo on the church's forearm, sprouts this minor illusion of a very low quality,
Here it
barely any quality. Sorry, give me 1 second.
No problem.
Okay.
Where's the map?
It's fine. Just live. Anyway, sorry about that. You see a very tiny, very low quality image of a woman with a headshot, like a headshot of a woman. You haven't actually seen the Mona Lisa, so you have no idea what the fuck you're drawing.
I just couldn't like that was just the first like piece of art that popped into my head. But like yeah, it's just some generic picture of a woman, but it's in like 720p. and it's kind of like see through a little bit almost.
But yeah, it looks very. The way he's casting it is very demented almost.
Ariel will not say anything, but he will roll his eyes and not make any attempt to hide the fact that he is rolling his eyes at this display.
Is this is out of character. Do we have the map that you had shown us last session before we got here?
Yeah,
Is that
you
in
you do have the
the
map.
general? Okay.
You would have purchased it.
Okay, because I'm trying to find where that map is.
Which map are you
Is
looking
it
for?
in the normal? The map that, or like the map that we used to direct us here that we kind of like looked at, that we gave the
Yeah, it's just the standard map of
pilot.
Cerdonia.
Okay. All right, cool. And then we are. All right, I'm thinking maybe we head to Avernus. Seems like a bigger like meeting area. Maybe Gaius is traveled somewhere closer to Avernus, and we know that Malbolge is under siege, isn't it? Like it's currently being destroyed as we speak, so we can't really go that way.
I mean, going to Avernus is
Or was that the opposite? Was Malbolge the place that
No,
was not under
Malbolge
Well,
is
siege, and
one of
then
the
Avernus
places.
was?
Avernus is
Malbolge is one of the places that is better off because it's not being attacked by Zariel.
Better off.
And
Okay,
Avernus
yeah,
is
yeah.
the
It's
homestead
opposite.
of Zariel.
Yeah, that's where Avernus. So the opposite way. I think we should maybe head north to Malbolge and see maybe if he's like somewhere in between here, between Malbolge and Moleville, and it'll get us further away from Zariel and her troops as well, in case she's like, I don't know, still hunting down Angus for some reason.
and she's not necessarily hunting me. I'm hunting her. It's the other way around.
Uh,
Like I am just a fly that escaped from the fucking spray she put down in her house. All right.
But so this is okay. This is S Church, and I'm talking to everybody, including Ariel and Alana. Well, now that that display of art's out of the way, I think that it would be best for both of our two groups to join up and head to Malbolge. We should, if we're lucky, we'll pass our wandering merchant on the way there as he makes his way here. And if we're not so lucky as to find them on the journey, then perhaps we could not only find our merchant, but your Gaius as well. You said he likes to shop. I heard the Wandering Emporium has loads of goods and items to be procured. And then he just awaits the rest of the group's response to the idea as he.
Well, if you guys plan to go with us, I recommend using our flagship.
I mean, we can do that. We can also just rent some of those sloths. We also have the car. How far is it from Albolge?
It doesn't look that super far. Doesn't look crazy far. Maybe
You
like
also see the massive relic sloth
days.
that Ariel and Alana had drove in. It's already stood up and is making a U-turn on its way out of here.
Okay, so we don't have a giant sloth.
How far away is it from us?
It's about 20 feet at this point. Depends on where
Well,
exactly
we can.
you placed yourselves during this conversation.
Um, it looked like it was coming from the direction of Malbolge as it
No.
arrived.
It came from the
But
opposite
if you
direction of where of
okay, so
Malbolge.
Okay. So then that means it's turning back towards not where we need to go. So then I guess the airship's the only way. We could take this scavenger, but it seems a little far by car. Like not too far, but a little far. If we have the ship, you know. Because otherwise we'd have to buy more food. I'm pretty sure
I
it
mean, we're
looks
out
like
of food regardless. We need to buy more food.
yeah, but this looks like a journey that by car would take still a day or so by car, maybe a day or
I
two.
mean, it's
I don't
probably
know.
gonna
I don't
take.
think we have enough space on the car for 6 people.
That too. But I
It's a
mean,
clown car at that point.
if we have the airship, we might as well take the
Yeah.
fastest mode of transportation.
So, real quick, I think either Aaron or Tequila can make history checks.
Right.
This is gonna be a very low modifier. -1. Let's go. 11.
Okay. You know you remember you've had this conversation before, and 14 recalls the recalls that there is that yes, though it's not though Malbolge is not currently in a conflict at the moment, it has been there is like a sort of dead zone
That's
in which
right. The airship
around
can't
Malbolge, in
fly
which if
into
the
it.
airship were to strike at it, were to venture towards it, it would automatically be attacked as all of these main cities seem to be isolating themselves.
Can't we fly near the ground for just movement?
Guess we'll have to use the car.
Yeah, we're like right on the edge of some bad shit.
Oh,
I feel like other than going to Malbolge, our only other option for finding Mahadi would literally be to just stay here for however long it takes Mahadi to get here. So that's why I think like we could expedite the process a little bit, because if he's coming here, if we're going there, we might see him, we might pass him. But if you guys would rather stay and just wait for him, that could be a plan. But I don't know if that would help us necessarily find Gaius as well, if we're trying to help them.
well, if you plan to not wait, then I will send the airship to just fly above here.
Okay.
If that's fine with you guys.
So the airship, I know this is probably silly, but the airship can't like convert itself into a land ship, can it?
No.
Okay, so we could either take the scavenger or we could go buy sloth.
Wait, can it just fly near the ground?
Like under the radar?
Yeah, so like it seems like a normal vehicle, or just flies instead of rides.
I feel like even if we tried that, even if it would work, that's a risky business. If we get shot out of the air, we're toast. And these big sloths look like they move pretty fast. They made up a mile pretty quick, so, and they seem like they have a lot of space. So we could go haggle with old Hawk, get a sloth, so we don't have to deal with the capacity problem, and then make our way up to Malbolge on foot, rather than try to fly in.
Yeah,
Yeah, that sounds like our best bet right now at this point. And they're pretty fast, so it should probably be a faster journey actually than the scavenger. They look like they take up a lot of space with one step. So I guess we're going to Hawks. Guess we're gonna go talk to Hawk.
Okay. So, Church is going over to the this store that's off to the other side of the Hell's Kitchen called Hawk's Sloths. Who else is following?
Oh, I guess everyone else also was by floor.
You look in the back of the store. It looks like all of the sloths are kind of like held in this like pen with like a little pavilion over top of them to provide shade. There looks to be only 2 sloths available.
And these slots are, I know they're the token just model. They're just as big as the other one that we saw, or was that one like?
No,
Is this one way
these
more
ones are like the
massive than
smaller
these?
ones. These are the ones that are like
Okay,
just for
these are
like
the
horses.
just like horses. Okay, so um,
So we should run over to that, right? Is what I'm getting.
to the big one, but the big one's going the opposite direction towards Avernus, where the bad guys are. You guys want to jump on that one?
We could turn him around.
I mean, we could try. Is it still too late to try to run up and grab that
At
one
this point, it's like a
and
mile
jump on
away.
it? Okay.
It's been traveling
Turn it
ever since it's
around?
been traveling since you guys started
Uh,
talking.
I mean, we put 5 people on the scavenger before. Is 6 really that much of a stretch?
Probably not.
Well-
Not if somebody doesn't mind sitting in
It
someone's
can
lap.
crew up to 8 people.
No,
Oh.
it just isn't
I
it
d-
like you have to swing out and just hold the bus around the car, to be honest.
Oh yeah, it can see 8 people. We're good to just take the scavenger. I didn't see that. Okay. And it has
So,
weapons.
so the two people are clothed?
Wait,
The
what'd
2
you say?
people are what?
Are in the clothes?
Anybody could take the claws if you want.
I think I would ride. I'll be like driving the car. That's fine.
I'm sorry, new people. We haven't heard a word from either of y'all for quite some time. Are y'all doing okay? You
We're fine
you
here.
down
We're
to
just
hop on the back of a car and go hunting for something?
absolutely.
Let's go
I'm
find
s-
your fiance.
It's got cool guns on it.
Well,
I'm sorry,
by
I
all
love the
means.
Saints Row 4 like spawn in there. It just appears underneath all of us.
Oh yeah, no. So you would be able to see that there's like a little garage hatch that kind of lowers down in the back end of the ship, and out rolls this like massive just wheeler, this like massive 3-wheeler. That just kind of, it looks like it's held up by scraps of metal, hopes and dreams.
Hopes and dreams.
So, Hopin, Drew says that he gets into the scavenger.
I guess I'll hop into one of the harpoons. I'll hop into the harpoon. And that's on the back end, isn't it? Underneath.
Okay.
Oh, I did not.
So you
no,
hop
I
in onto
did
the backside of
not know I could grab that. My token's underneath the scaven. I'll get it later. Yeah. I'm sitting on the harpoon seat.
Oh no, the car overran SO.
I just lay underneath the car, check and make sure everything's all right under there.
Yeah, it looks fine. It almost looks like it looks a little bit like how it looks pretty much how you've left it before.
Oh no, I was just kidding. I was just saying that because the tokens had went underneath the car.
Oh.
But yeah, I just hop in and I tell Ariel, let's go find your fiance, and I wave him over to hop into the car with Drew and I.
Okay.
He will go over and jump in.
Okay. Does everybody else just hop into the scavenger and take off?
Yeah.
Okay. Alana, are you doing the same?
Sure thing.
Okay. So with that, all of you get onto the hop onto this scavenger here. Let me just put it in the back so you guys can actually see your tokens. So yeah, you all hop into the back of onto this this scrap metal on wheels. Drew hops into the cockpit. Church, you said you were manning one of the harpoons.
Yes.
Okay. There's another harpoon and then a claw, and then everybody else is kind of just clinging onto the side of the ship. Who wants to take the other harpoon and the claw? So with that, I'm assuming Alana is going to be on the back, on just the front of the ship, in front of the scavenger.
Just imagine it's a situation of kind of like how ships have those mermaids on the front of them.
Okay, so Alana is just sitting on the front of the ship like a mermaid on a pirate ship. And everybody else?
I think Tequila's just going wherever somebody is not.
Okay. So, Angus and Ariel, do either of you want to man the harpoon or the claw?
Angus is manning the harpoon, I think.
I was specifically not taking a weapon since I have good ranged attacks normally. But
If you don't
if
want
we
to,
need
you'll
someone,
take you could just take the empty spot, an empty spot on the wheel, on the scavenger.
I mean, I think these both deal slightly more damage than an Eldritch Blast, so I was correct. Actually, the grappling claw doesn't have damage listed. But yeah, I'll take the grappling claw if no one's on it.
Okay. Ariel, do you want to take the harpoon, or are you going to just set off to the side?
Does the grapple claw actually not do damage, or does it just grapple?
I think it does some
Does that, it
damage, and
just
then
is the
also
effect?
grapples onto other structures.
Yeah,
yeah.
it just says hit with a blank space next to it on the scavenger sheet.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Huh.
Oh yeah, see, no damage. Weird.
So Ariel,
So
do you
you
take a
are on the
harpoon, or do
grappling
you?
claw, Church?
No, that was an accident. I didn't mean to click it.
No, you
I
didn't.
meant to
So
right
Ariel,
click
do you
it.
take
Yeah,
a
but I didn't.
do you take the harpoon, or do you just set off to the side?
Um, Good question. He does have some range attacks. But sure, he'll take a harpoon. Why not?
Okay, so you man the harpoon, and then Tequila, you just set off to the side of the ship, kind of just clinging onto it. All right, and then with that, Drew, you just take everybody out and away of Moleville. Random question: is Ralph coming along with you guys? Nope. Okay.
No, I don't think Ralph is coming with us.
We
I
could
will.
stick Ralph on grappling claw duty, and he could catch people, and I could shoot him.
Yeah. Is there any way for us to try to communicate with Ralph? Is there any like
Ralph is on the ship.
any
You could
way at
just
all?
talk with him.
No. I mean like if we leave and he stays days? Like, is there any way for us to communicate with him at all in case we?
No,
I
but
can
Just-
communicate with the ship.
you have an
Okay,
idea
so
that if
maybe-
he does stay on the ship, he would be able to make sure the ship doesn't get raided or something, because you're just leaving the
Yeah,
ship
I
in the
was
middle of this
thinking
village.
maybe we could leave him on the ship and have him call us in case like anything crazy goes on here, anyone tries to mess with the ship, anything like that, and he could connect to Drew because otherwise we would, just be leaving the ship.
If you need to get in contact with someone, I do have the sending spell.
I think Drew can just call, can't you? Aren't you just like connected to the ship? Like you can just talk to it from
You are
wherever?
connected to
Oh.
Drew's connected to constructs, but he's not connected to Ralph.
But okay. Would Ralph be able to communicate?
There are duo drones and tri drones on the ship, so I could contact them just in case something.
And speak to Ralph through them, and he could do the
Yeah.
same through you, vice versa. Okay, so then I think I vote to leave him here. I don't want to put Ralph in any more dangerous high stress situation.
Okay. We're leaving Ralph, it sounds like, and I'm gonna leave him 10 gold so he can buy some food while we're gone.
Okay, sounds good. All right.
Tequila has spent a fortune on this guy.
Yeah.
We're just
Fred.
leaving this random knife broker in charge of our ship.
He's indebted to us spiritually and mentally. We saved his life.
No, we saved him from like 3 months in prison.
But remember, we also got him the pardon to get him those 3 months in prison.
No, we didn't. We paid his bail.
You also technically put him in jail to begin
This
with.
is true.
I thought he was
Ralph
gonna
is
get, I thought
turning
he
his
was,
life around.
You got
I
him
thought
out
Ralph
of
was
the jail
getting
you
hit with
put him in.
the book, and we like convinced them to give him a lighter sentence, and then he got bailed
You did
out.
not. That was not. You did not succeed on that.
Well,
I think I
we
managed
gave
to
him freedom.
I think I managed to convince him to give him like the bare minimum sentence.
Yeah,
But he
like,
did
I thought
not get a lighter sentence by any means.
but we still got him. He still didn't have to go to jail at all because of us. I think he'll be fine. He trusts us. We trust him. He's a good guy. He's our buddy now. Like Tequila said, he's our friend. He wouldn't betray us.
Well,
You said you
if
have
he
the sending
does,
spell, right?
the drone will throw him.
And he knows we can beat him up, and I think he's scared of us still kind of a little bit, so I don't think he'll even try that.
Alana, you said you have that sending spell, right?
Yes.
That can hit anyone, right?
Yes. You would be able to.
The
make-
Fuck
range,
yeah.
as long as they're on the same plane of existence, I can contact anyone.
Well, I do not think that Ralph is going to be opening any interdimensional portals anytime soon. He's not church.
There's a limitation where it can only be a 25-word message.
We're coming for you, asshole. That's only 5. So
Yeah, I don't think he'll try a single. I don't think he would try anything if we just let him know that we'll find him if he tries to leave, like before we leave.
Hold on. Creature hears
We
the
will
message
track
is
him
mine.
down.
Recognizes you as the sender if it knows you. Can answer. Ba-ba-da-ba-ba.
Yes, you would be able to communicate with Ralph. Just a 25-word sending and response. Okay, so with that in mind, you all Drew at the helm. You all venture out of Moleville. Angus, could you make a perception check with me? For me, please. On a
Ooh.
16, you kind of on a 16 you kind of for a sec for you as you watch as Drew drives you all north uh away from Moleville, down this path that is kind of going through Moleville. You turn back for a second to look at Moleville, and you see a figure standing in the middle of the road. One that you don't recognize from Moleville, but one that from a distance looks familiar still. A rather a man in studded leathers, boots that standard, like it looks like a very traditional cowboy.
It's the guy who shot me.
No, it is not the guy who shot you.
Oh.
It is the one that you have been seeing briefly from time to
Oh,
time.
I thought those were the same guy. I'm not gonna lie.
Concealed in a wide-brimmed cowboy hat, you can kind of just see it. Almost gives he almost gives a tip to you as you venture out.
Are you seeing ghosts again, partner?
I don't think this one's gonna teach me sign language.
Wait, you're seeing ghosts? Since when?
And with that, we're gonna end the session off here. As Drew is just like, "Wait, you what? Ghosts?"
Oh wait, were you not there for the whole session where like I met a ghost and we had a whole yes or no questions thing?
No,
She's
Drew
a
just
sweet
had
lady.
a blue screen the entire
Tequila-
session.
Tequila has good friends, even if they're dead.
Huh.
Let me just send you an image of the guy, just so that we're on the same page here. 1 second. But yeah, that is the end of session 15. And yeah, that's the end of it. I apologize we didn't get to too much in this episode. In this session. I meant for a bit more. I didn't think you guys would leave Moleville because I thought you all came to a consensus about staying in Moleville. So I kind of planned around staying in Moleville. But it's fine. So yeah, we will pick up next session as you all venture from Moleville to the city, to one of the capitals of the Hellen Empire, Malbolge.
What game is this picture from? I have seen this guy before.
I don't know.
Like
but
out of character, I feel like I have seen this guy.
I don't know what game this is from. I just found it on the internet and just pulled it. I was like, that's a good photo for this guy.
It works. Edgy cowboy with sword and an extra gun for some reason. Oh, that's only 2 holsters. I thought I saw 3.
He's holding a gun in one hand. Oh.
Yes, I
He
saw
does
that.
have
I thought I saw a 3rd holster, like one
It looks
holster
like
on
he has
each
a
hip,
third
and then
holster,
one
like-
in the dick.
Yeah. I don't know what that's supposed to be, but
That's a holster. That's for his backup gun. Everyone has to have their backup gun. That's the first thing I learned when I came to America for the first time as a baby. But
okay.
anyway,
So with that is the end of the session for tonight. Thank you all for joining us, and thank you for joining the campaign, Chris and Robin. Hopefully, we'll get to a little bit more. Sorry, this was a slow and not very eventful session, but hopefully, we'll get into something a bit more next session. So with that,
Sounds
thank you all
sounds
for joining,
good.
and I will see you next time. Take
have a
care.
good night,
All right,
nerds.
sounds
Have a good
good.
night.
Bye.
Bye.
See you later.
Peace.